Thank you very much. I thought I would just reflect a little bit. I've been very fortunate over the past 8 years to be involved with the Entrepreneur of the Year program nationally. And matter of fact, I've been chairman of the National Judging Committee for the retail consumer products for North America. And when I studied over the past 7, 8 years the winners, and they've been outstanding winners, Howard Schultz from Starbucks. You take from Best Buy, the founder, Arthur Blank from Home Depot, Michael Dell, really the stalwarts of American entrepreneurs. What were the characteristics that really were similar to all these people that made them the outstanding people they are? And I thought there were really 4 elements that made them outstanding. One, they were all dreamers and visionaries. They all wanted to change the world, change their industry. They had a dream and a vision, and nothing was going to stop from that dream. Number 2, they were great risk takers, and they had great tolerance for failure and risk. You know, Winston Churchill said that success is going from failure to failure with great enthusiasm. And I think these winners all had great enthusiasm. It didn't matter if they were failing. It didn't matter if they hit a wall. It didn't matter what would happen. They had their vision, and they just kept on going. And their tolerance for risk and failure was amazing. The third element was there was no finish line. There was absolutely no finish line. You know, when they reached their first pinnacle, when most people would have said, I'm done, I've made money, I've stopped, there was no such thing as a finish line. You know, if you look at Howard Schultz and Starbucks, he built 117 stores in the first 10 years. Most people would have stopped. That was a lot. In the next 10 years, he built 5,000. And he's still building. He came back into the company because he saw still the next mountain. But the fourth element, and I think it's the most critical, is this group of entrepreneurs was able to deliver the unexpected. And I think it's the critical success of entrepreneurs across the world. And what is it? How does unexpected deliver very different from world-class service or anything different? Well, I had a personal story that, to me, exemplifies the unexpected. Our company, which is partially located in New Hampshire and also in St. Louis, we had a convention in California. And we had a group, including myself, we were flying out from Boston to Long Beach, California about 5 years ago. And we were taking JetBlue Airlines. And there was a group going out in the morning of 40, 50 people. And there was a group going out in the afternoon, similar flight, 40, 50 people. And I was in the morning flight. And I knew it was going to be about a 6-hour flight. So I packed a little, JetBlue does not serve a lot, as a lot of airlines don't, pack a little food. And as I was getting on the plane, the stewardess said to me, she said, I hope you have enough food. She said, it's a 9-hour flight. And I assumed she was kidding because 9 hours, you'd have to stall in the air for 3 hours. And I assumed that was not a good thing. And I went to my seat, and after about an hour in the air, the pilot got on. And he said, I just want to tell you, he said, I'm not sure if you're aware, he said, we have 200-mile-an-hour headwinds. And he said, the plane is full, so we had to have full fuel tank. Between the headwinds and the plane being 100% full, he said, we cannot make it nonstop to Long Beach. So he said, we've been routed by air traffic control to stop Minneapolis. And he said, it's going to take between the grounding, refueling, going back up, and the headwinds, it's 9 hours. But he said, I feel really very bad about that. And I'm going to give you all a $25 gift certificate, and you get a free movie. JetBlue has the movies. You get a free movie. Well, I call that world-class service. That's good. You felt everybody went, that was nice. They were somewhat empathetic, and that was nice. And that was a good thing. The second group got on the plane at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and they had a very similar situation. The pilot got on about an hour later and said to them, well, we have tremendous headwinds. We have a full tank, full plane. We cannot make it nonstop. We've been rerouted through Denver, air traffic control, and we have to stop. He said, I apologize for it. Then he came back on about an hour later on the intercom and said, I've been thinking about it. If I was in your position and I thought it was going to be a 6-hour flight and all of a sudden it's a 9-hour flight, I would be starving. And he said, I happen to go to Denver a lot because that's one of our routes. And he said there was a Pizza Hut about 2 miles from the airport. And he said, I personally called the Pizza Hut, and I've ordered 25 large pizzas, mushroom, sausage, pepperoni, vegetarian. And he said, I'm having them delivered to the plane. He says, you can't get off the plane because of security. I'm having that with French fries and some side orders of things delivered to the plane, and I thought you all might like it. And the plane burst out in applause. And when that group got to Long Beach, California, we had a convention there. Those 50 people must have told every one of the 3,000 people at convention. Our group, it was very nice, and by the way, the $25 gift certificate cost them more than the pizza, which cost $2 a person. But what the pilot did was, he truly delivered the unexpected. Who would think that a pilot would pay with his own money to deliver pizza to a plane? And 3 days later, that story got picked up in USA Today, in the business section of USA Today, and made national news. And what I realized was, world-class service is the price of entry. It's the price of maintenance. It is not the price of success. And there's something very special about what happens with the unexpected. You know, unexpected is what great companies do. Zappos, for those I think most of you probably know, Zappos is a company that started from nothing about 6 years ago. And Tony Hsieh, the one founder of Zappos and CEO, built it from zero to $1 billion company in 5 years. And he did it doing the unexpected. He hires people, and he tells them, if at the end of 60 days of working here, you don't like it, I'm going to pay you $2,000 to leave. He gives them a check for $2,000 to leave. Why? Because he wants to make sure that people really want to be there. Nobody does that. That's unexpected. But it's also his customer service. He went from having 30-day to 60-day. If you don't like the shoes, you have a year to bring them back. So there was one customer in Maryland who had some shoes delivered, and this one he actually had a 60-day guarantee. And unfortunately, she was taking care of her sick mother. She was supposed to return the shoes. Her mother passed away, and the time went by, and it was now 90 days, 120, and she thought, well, I probably can't return them. She sent an email to Zappos, and she explained, she said, you know, I had the shoes, I was supposed to return them, and my mother got sick and passed away, and I have them. I didn't know, probably I can't do anything. Well, bam, she gets a thing in the mail, said, please, we're going to come pick up the shoes at your place tomorrow. It's free shipping. Send them back, no problem. She said, boy, that is great. But the next day, which was unexpected, he sent them flowers. He sent her flowers with a note of sympathy about her mother. That is doing the unexpected. See, what unexpected does, it's interesting. It's proven. The unexpected actually affects our brain differently than world-class service. The unexpected releases dopamine in our brain that gives us a sense of pleasure and of lasting happiness. And we connect that actually with the company that's giving it to us. So companies that can give us the unexpected, and I don't care, frankly, if it's a nonprofit, if it's a service company, if it's a retail company, that is how you make a connection with a company. And in today's world of social media, the unexpected goes both ways, either really great or really bad. I don't know how many have heard the story of Dave Carroll, but Dave Carroll was a guitarist, and he was flying in United Airlines. And United Airlines, as he was boarding, somebody next to him saw his guitar being thrown around, and he looked out the window, and the luggage guys were throwing the guitar, loading on the plane. He ran to the stewardess. He said, hold it, that's my guitar, and I'm a guitarist. I really need that. And she didn't care. He went to the pilot and said that, and he didn't care. We got to Chicago. No question, the guitar was broke. And he wrote to United Airlines. He wanted this, and they said, we're covering you up to $200. Well, the guitar was thousands of dollars. And he wrote to the higher up United Airlines, and they said, I'm sorry, it's $200. So what did he do? He wrote a song, and he put it on YouTube about United Airlines and their bad service. That song, if you go on today, you'll see that song has gotten 10 million hits. And it's costing United Airlines, they figure in PR, $100 million in negative PR because they wouldn't relate. So the unexpected can go both ways. But in social media today, when you do something wonderful, it's the way to build a brand. It truly is. You know, Ritz-Carlton has built a brand on giving great service, but they really built their company on doing the unexpected. Every person at Ritz-Carlton had, and it's now been increased for years, had a $500 budget. It didn't matter whether you're the bellman, a waiter, and if you saw something that you thought was wrong, you could give $500, up to $500 of service. Now I believe it's $1,500. And probably one of the great stories is, in San Francisco, a young man was staying in a Ritz-Carlton hotel, and his father was living in San Francisco, and he borrowed his father's car, and he drove it to the Ritz-Carlton with his girlfriend, and he double parked the car. When he came back out, he was at the restaurant, the car was towed, and he didn't know how to tell his father. It was a very expensive car, and he asked the valet. He said, "Where's there a phone?" He said, "I need to tell my father something. He's going to kill me." And the valet asked him, he said, "What's wrong?" He said, "Well, I double parked my car across the street, and it's towed." And he said, "I just don't know what to tell my father." Isaiah was the name of the bellman. And he said, "Wait 1 second." He knew where the car was being towed because he knows the area in San Francisco. He called the place, and he said, "Look, call the town car around front." He said, "Get in the town car with me," with his girlfriend. They got in the town car. He went to the pound where they got the car, and he heard him back, and he said, "How much is it going to cost to get my car out?" He said, "I'm not sure." And he heard the gentleman saying, he said, "I only have $50. They got to the pound where the car was, and they said, "How much is it?" And he said, "It's $175. The valet gave cash to $175 to get the car. And the son said, he said, "I don't have the money." He said, "Don't worry about it." He got back, took the car, and told his father what happened. His father not only called the hotel, his father called the San Francisco Chronicle the next day, and there was a major story in it. And the Ritz-Carlton now uses that as a service motif to tell their people of what they should do to the unexpected. And see, delivering the unexpected is, you have to empower your people to deliver the unexpected. Because you don't have to do it every day. You have to wait for that wonderful opportunity like the valet's there. And if the mindset of people is there, you have to just wait for the right opportunity, because that's the way all organizations are built. They're not just built doing great things. They're built finding that wonderful opportunity of doing the unexpected. And that's true with employees too, by the way. You know, we think that we're doing a great job by giving employees a great salary and great health insurance. Well, you know something? They expect a great salary, and they expect health insurance. But why don't you try something different? Put a flower on their desk. Put movie tickets on their desk. Put a note on their desk that they don't expect. Because you can keep on giving them more money, and they don't necessarily feel better about you. Because people don't work for money, and they need it, and they don't work for health insurance. They need it. They work for a personal connection, and they work for the unexpected. Because that's when they go home and tell other people. That's how reputations get built. You don't have to do it every day. One day when it was really beautiful in Manchester about 1.5 years ago, I called all our people into the office. It was one of those gorgeous summer days that nobody wants to work. And I just said to all our people, I said, "You know something? I think I was told it was so gorgeous out that the asphalt in our driveway is so hot that if you keep your cars there, it's going to sink into the pavement." I said, if I were you, I'd have everybody leave right now. And we had everybody leave. And you get more out of that, of doing something unexpected at that moment. When we moved, I put a little flower. We moved offices. I put a little flower on everybody's desk with a note on it for myself. And they didn't expect that. But it's doing that all unexpected. And I think it's in your personal relationships too. What happens when you send flowers to somebody on the day that's not their birthday? Why is that so unusual? Because it releases that dopamine, it releases that special feeling. And so for all of us, it's that special occasion, because we tell people. And with social media today, it is so important. I was recently at a hotel in Calgary. I was there on pleasure, and when I pulled up, I had a rental car. And had some luggage in it. I had previously been hiking. And the gentleman came up from the hotel, and he said, "Can I take your luggage?" And I happened to have more than normal. And I said, "Yes." And he said, "Would you like me to take your car?" I said, "Well, it's a rental car. I have to return it." And he said, "I'll return it for you, Mr. Brodsky." I said, "You don't understand." I said, "It's in the rental car parking lot." He said, "Mr. Brodsky, I'll return it and return a receipt for you, and I'll bring the receipt to your room." I truly didn't expect that. He was going to take my car, bring it to the rental car place, bring the receipt in my room. I told I told lots of people that this is a great hotel. You know, when you think about the things that you tell people, you don't tell them about the expected. That is the price of maintenance. That is the price of surviving in today's world. You know, we just live in an overstored, overcapacity society of everything. You know, in the United States, we have 40 square feet of retail space for every human being that exists. In Europe, we have 4 square feet. That's 10 times more of everything in the United States. More restaurants, more consultants, more accountants, more software people, more nonprofits. We have more of everything. And the only way you're going to stand out, and the only way you're going to succeed, the only way you're going to be the Entrepreneur of the Year, I believe, is to deliver the unexpected. And I think the way you do that is to empower the people with you. Not just you, but it's the empowerment of management. It's the empowerment of entrepreneurs to think of, I'm just looking for that opportunity to deliver the unexpected. And I will tell you that smaller companies, growing companies, have more of an opportunity than big companies. Because big companies are so structured, they have a tough time thinking that way. Except the really great ones. The Apples of the world, you know, they can think that way. But generally, smaller companies actually can deliver it. They can deliver it better, they can deliver it quicker, and can they deliver it because it's from their heart. So I guess I would empower all of you to look for the unexpected. Look for that great opportunity that comes. Because if you do, I think what you'll find is you'll have unexpected success and unexpected profit and unexpected great endeavors before your future. Thank you.